Welcome to the Lean Life podcast, where holistic nutrition meets deep healing and soul-level wellness. This is a space where we connect mind, body, and spirit, where lean means shedding the layers, returning to who you truly are, and nourishing yourself from the inside out. I'm Lauren Ahola, your host and holistic registered dietitian with over a decade of experience, and I've learned that real healing goes far beyond food. It's emotional, spiritual, and deeply personal. If you're ready to go deeper, reconnect with yourself, and truly lean into all that you are, you're in the right place. Let's do this. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We have another gut health episode for you all today. I'm just kind of going deeper into the series. Last episode, we talked about SIBO. Before that, we talked about Gut Health 101. Another common gut condition you might hear or ask yourself if you have is called leaky gut, right? And so with that term, it's kind of thrown around everywhere. It's a buzzword, and some people think everyone has it. Other people think it's not real. I believe the truth is somewhere in the middle. Research continues to grow, showing that increased leaky gut, or what I will also say, increased intestinal permeability, plays a role in many chronic conditions. And so today, in this brief episode, we are going to sit down and go into what causes leaky gut, whether you might have it, and what you can do about it. If you go to a GI doctor, they often use the term intestinal permeability. Here's just a visual of what leaky gut is. I just want you to imagine your intestines are like a cheesecloth or a coffee filter. I think a lot of us have our morning coffee, right? Just think of your coffee filter. Your intestinal lining is one cell thick, pretty much, and it has tiny openings called tight junctions. And these tight junctions, and I'm talking about when your gut is in its healthy, optimal state. These tight junctions are supposed to allow nutrients into your bloodstream. They're supposed to keep bacteria, toxins, and partially digested food out. With a healthy gut, you have a selective barrier. It allows what's supposed to go out into your bloodstream, keeps what's supposed to be in there, in your intestines, to be removed for waste. When those tight junctions become damaged, your gut becomes more permeable. Those tiny holes get larger, right? So we can just imagine they start to become weak, and things that normally stay in the digestive tract begin slipping into your circulation. Things of sorts such as bacterial toxins, food proteins, yeast, inflammatory compounds, all of those are supposed to stay, mostly in your intestines, but then they seep out into your bloodstream. And what happens is that your immune system recognizes these as foreign and responds with inflammation. It's like, oh God, we have all these triggers going off, and everybody can experience inflammation in different ways. So with leaky gut, there's so many things that can be tied back to it, and your symptoms might not be the same as somebody else. And this chronic immune activation can affect the entire body, not just digestion. A big passion of mine is gut health because it can be a root cause of helping so many symptoms for people. And so what causes leaky gut, right? There's so many things. And it's never one thing. It's one of those diagnoses that's usually a death by 1,000 paper cuts. Common causes can include dysbiosis, which is when your gut bacteria are imbalanced. Too much bad bacteria and not enough beneficial bacteria. Yeast overgrowth, SIBO, which we went into in episode 11. If you missed that, if you've had sort of IBS, I encourage you to go back and listen to that episode. Another big part of what may cause leaky gut is highly processed Western diet. SAD diet, standard American diet, is what that stands for. And you don't have to be perfect, right? But if this is the majority of what you grew up eating and are currently eating, it makes sense. Sugar, ultra-processed foods, things with a million ingredients in it, seed oils, refined carbs, alcohol for sure, diets that are low in, and if you're doing this for a little bit, it's not going to be a big thing, but chronically low in fiber, antioxidants, colorful fruits and vegetables, proteins, just an overall not well-rounded diet. Chronic stress, like I always mention, is related to everything. Chronic stress can cause chronic high cortisol, which is your major stress hormone, and that can decrease your digestive enzymes. It can slow healing. It can change your gut barrier. It can make our whole immune system weaker. So chronic stress is connected to everything. If you've been on any of these medications currently or in the long term, or even as a kid as a lot, that can be a big impact of antibiotics, definitely changing up and killing off a lot of our good gut bacteria. NSAIDs like Advil, ibuprofen, Aleve, acid blockers, the PPIs, steroids, chemotherapy, and even sometimes birth control for a lot of women. That's a whole other topic. I could do an episode on that or have some specialists come in. But long-term birth control has a big link to leaky gut as well. Basically, they all come down to weakening the gut lining and altering your gut microbiome. A once or twice thing, usually people have the ability to heal that, right? And your immune system's strong and you can start to eat well and build your gut bacteria back up. And sometimes a one time thing for somebody, for some reason, they just can't come back from it. But usually it's when you've taken a lot of these medications in the long term. Some certain food sensitivities worsen the permeability. Common triggers, I will say, gluten, excess alcohol, sugar, and for some dairy. If you do have a lot of food sensitivities, let's say you did them on like the Everly Well, or I do food sensitivity testing for people too. It's not my favorite gut health test to do just because I want to know why, right? If you have a lot of food sensitivities and the answer is just to eliminate all those things, like there is something deeper going on. If you do a food sensitivity test and like 2 to 3 things come back high, fine. We all might have a couple things that we don't handle well, but if there's a lot of foods coming back high on your food sensitivity test, my thoughts are one of the biggest ones is you have leaky gut. It's going to make you sensitive to a lot of foods. So I want to get more to the root cause of that and heal your leaky gut or potentially SIBO or candida. I can add on a food sensitivity test for people, but I'll often, when it comes to money, I would suggest doing something like the GI map, a stool sample test, or a SIBO test. But something like gluten, let's say you're super sensitive to it and have been eating it for a long time, that can damage your cell lining of your gut and can lead to leaky gut. So there's certain things, no matter how well we heal your gut, if you're sensitive to gluten, you might always just be sensitive to gluten. But the goal is to get you to eat as many foods as possible and be able to enjoy them. Other causes of leaky gut could be infections like food poisoning, parasites, viruses, and then other contributors. This would be, like I said, death by 1,000 cuts. But if you haven't been sleeping well for a long time, have a ton of nutrient deficiencies, mold exposure, chronic inflammation, autoimmunity can all be contributors to leaky gut. Common symptoms, let's get into some of those. Digestive symptoms of leaky gut would be bloating, gas, constipation, diarrhea, reflux, abdominal discomfort. Other symptoms outside of the gut that you might not associate it with gut health or leaky gut would be chronic fatigue, brain fog, headaches, joint pain, skin conditions, eczema, acne, rosacea, food sensitivities, seasonal allergies, low immunity, autoimmune conditions, hormone imbalances, nutrient deficiencies, low iron, B12, magnesium. Those are all under the nutrient deficiency category. And many people don't realize poor absorption can contribute to vitamin and mineral deficiencies even when they're eating well. So you don't always become what you eat, you become what you absorb. Right? And I know that that's such a huge list of conditions. So you might be ruling out things in multiple areas, right? But what likely is there as well is leaky gut, and helping to heal that can really help with everything. If you're someone with autoimmunity, there is a big link with leaky gut as well. Things like Hashimoto's, celiac, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, lupus, diabetes. So it doesn't necessarily cause autoimmune disease, but who knows really what does? I have a lot of people that have autoimmunity. That can be such a complicated thing. It's just gut health is another area to dive into when you do have autoimmunity. That can be really helpful. So let's just say you suspect that you have leaky gut, or you're just curious, right? How would you test for it? I will say there isn't one perfect test. I always look at symptoms, and then if possible, we'll do some testing to help confirm that. My favorite test is something called zonulin. It is a protein involved in regulating tight junctions. That test is found on the GI map stool sample test. When we see that marker elevated, sometimes I see it so high for people. that can be a really big indication of we definitely want to treat for leaky gut and add in supplements to help with that. Other tests, looking at different blood markers of inflammation, food sensitivity testing, if you do it, if there's a lot, that's a good indication that there is leaky gut there as well. Here's the big part, right? If you have it, how do you heal it? Is it even possible? I will say yes, it's really a holistic approach. There's something called the 5 R's of gut healing, and that really covers how you would look at leaky gut and how you could best heal it, right? So I'm just going to go through that really quick. Number one, you want to remove, identify, and reduce anything that may be contributing to your leaky gut. That could be inflammatory foods. And if we know foods that you're sensitive to, I often think most people, gluten and leaky gut, they go hand in hand. It's not going to help you. Let's take that out. Added sugars, alcohol, processed foods, dairy for some. So those could all be big things. We also want to remove if there's any active infections in your body, your gut, if you're taking a bunch of NSAIDs or medication, if there's chronic stress in your life. How do we remove these things, or at least try to manage them and reduce them? Next step is replace, and that is to help support your digestion if needed. And what might we want to replace, right? If you're really stressed out, the gut's inflamed, you might need us to replace and support some digestive enzymes to help you break down your food. Similar with stomach acid support, when appropriate, we also might want to add in some like gallbladder, bile, liver support as well. Number 3, reinoculate. That pretty much means to restore your healthy gut bacteria. And if we have the testing, we can see which type of probiotics could be best for you. Certain prebiotics, when you tolerate, those are fibers and food for the good gut bacteria. Fermented foods can help repopulate some good and healthy bacteria as well. Things like kimchi, sauerkraut, kefir, miso, tempeh, kombucha. Fiber just in general, good, well-rounded variety, fruits, vegetables, beans, lentils, avocados. Variety is good. Supplements for fiber come second if needed. And just thinking like a lot of color in your diet too. All those foods help to support your good gut bacteria. So if they were out of balance and we need to support them, that can really help with leaky gut. And then one of the biggest things with leaky gut, we have to do all that other stuff with it, but is to repair, right? Your gut lining, it's damaged. How do we repair and make it strong and able to fight some things off? Some supplements that can help with that are L-glutamine is a big one. That's an amino acid that will help to heal and seal your gut lining. Aloe, slippery elm, marshmallow, really soothing for the gut lining. Same with licorice, DGL. Zinc, very important mineral for gut repair and healing. Collagen may be also supported for most and help to repair some connective tissue. Omega-3 fatty acids are really good for decreasing inflammation. And then there's a supplement too called butyrate, which can really help with some short chain fatty acids in your gut. And I see that help improve a lot of IBS and gut symptoms for people. But like I said before, and I've said in other episodes, I'm not going to give doses or prescriptions for you to take. This is just some general information that might be helpful for you to look in further and then seek guidance from a professional. That way you know it's safe, you know it's effective, you're not spending all this money on something that might not even work for you. But many gut protocols require a lot of different processes. Don't try to do it all on your own. And then step number 5 of that 5-hour protocol is rebalance. This part we don't want to forget, right? How do we just rebalance your body? And like I add into every episode, is you need to support, you need to sleep well, you need to do some nervous system regulation of allowing your body to feel safe, right? That's a big thing for everything. You need to feel safe to heal. Adding in some movement. If you have something like leaky gut or on a really big gut protocol, don't overdo it on the exercise. Things moderate exercise, some light, moderate strength training, walking, yoga, swimming. Manage your stress. Try to find some joy in your life. Chew your food thoroughly and eat mindfully. Some supportive foods for healing leaky gut. Like I said, it's all individualized, but these foods can just be things to focus on that really promote healing. Colorful vegetables, berries, great antioxidants. Healthy fats like olive oil, avocado oil, nut seeds, salmon, pasture-raised eggs, bone broth, super supportive, beans and lentils, chia, flax, pumpkin seeds. Getting enough protein is also essential for healing. And hydration matters too. You got to stay hydrated for everything. Like I've said before, I've experienced a lot of gut things. Leaky gut, I've experienced myself. Like I said, it kind of just goes along with anybody who's had chronic gut issues. We can assume has it, but it's good to know. And adding in this knowledge to my gut healing journey and knowing what to do, what to remove, what supplements to take has been really, really helpful. Like I mentioned in the SIBO episode, I also just want to talk about the energy behind leaky gut too. So with that, right, your gut lining is a boundary. It's a barrier behind every physical symptom or diagnosis we experience. There's always an emotional cause behind it. And these emotions are not just new one-time things. They're things that we maybe have started from a young age, have been carrying us with us for years. But one of the big emotional causes behind leaky gut is boundaries. Where maybe you're not setting boundaries and where are you allowing your life's energy to leak, right? Are you giving too much? Is there not a balance of receiving? Are you the one to help everybody? Are you ending your day exhausted with nothing left for you? Are you people pleasing, putting yourself last? Like our gut needs healthy boundaries. We need healthy emotional boundaries too. When we allow everyone to access our time, energy, and peace, we eventually become depleted. Setting some strong boundaries in your life also can create a space for healing. Just to summarize, I will say leaky gut is real, but it's often not the root cause just by itself. It can be a sign that something deeper needs attention. The goal is just to create an environment where your gut can heal. And we want to focus on nourishing, reducing inflammation, supporting your gut microbiome, managing your stress, sleeping, eating enough protein and fiber, and just remembering that healing is a whole body experience. So if you have questions or want some additional support on your own to dive into this deeper, send me a message. I'd love to talk, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Thank you so much for listening to the Lean Life podcast. Your support truly means everything. If you loved this episode, the best way to support the show is to leave a review, subscribe, or share it with someone you care about. If you want to go deeper, I work with clients one-to-one through intuitive functional nutrition, both locally on the South Shore of Boston and online. You can always reach out, ask questions, or connect with me. I'd love to support you. Sending you love, balance, and a reminder to lean into all that you are. I'll see you in the next episode.